Antikela, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about things that happened in court, of course. And one of the things that happened there is one that when you addressed me and you, we would miss it. But the defense, no, we did not expect that from them. But then again, we all missed it. Then again, it goes back to one thing. uNkulunkulu uyayazi into ayenzayo. uNkulunkulu uyayazi uyenzelani. uNkulunkulu uyayazi ukuthi ezinye izinto uziyekelani ukuthi zenzeke ngohlobo ezenzeka ngalo. One thing about the Sezumewa case, it's very symbolic, it's very spiritual. I don't care where you come from, but there are things that are happening symbolically, spiritually, and they are there in the realm of the powers that are not yet seen but seen. I don't know if you are understanding me. Now let's talk about the things that happened. So there are moments in court, or there's a moment in court where everything looks normal. Okay, the witness is speaking, the prosecutor is confident, the judge is listening, and then one sentence slips out, and a sentence so small, most people miss it, but legally it can collapse an entire case. Okay, let's slow it down. Why am I saying this? Because what happened here is not just a mistake, it's a procedural red flag. A witness takes the stand and suddenly starts to referring to exhibit numbers. How did we all miss this? Because it's not like the 2023 31st or 30th or May statement of Constable Zungu was never read in court. It was, but we missed it back in 2023. We missed all of these guys. The defense missed it. Us people missed it. And guess what happened when it comes to that? One person, okay, he even says, me and my lawyer were sitting down and talking. I don't know between the two of them, Bongani Dansi and Sipho Ramsipil, who's the one that catch on this. But the person who brings it to our attention is no other than the high school dropout, the standard 8 dropout. And for me, that alone is giving him his flowers, because smart girl, smart boy, I don't want to hear anything. Now, if the statement of Zungu is going to have such, those are red flags, procedural red flags, red quills, red curtains, red everything, okay? Because you can't tell us kuno a what statements kaZungu the photo regarding photos of accused number 3. That is so weird. That is so weird. Not descriptions, not a photo I saw, but found court exhibit numbers. Ubongani Dansi mnike nama-flowers wakhe, because there is no way. There is absolutely no way. How did we miss that, guys? Till now, we always go through the documents. We go through the records. Like, no, but it's like we are the lawyers, but we miss that. Guys, give Bongani his flowers, please. Please. Now, ask yourself this, Kembo. Ask yourself this. The eyes, when look at it, like, oh, put your eyes there. When do exhibits get numbers? Not at the police station, of course. Not in witness statements, of course. Only in court. After they are formally introduced, then state will say, we are handling this, we are handing up this exhibit AA Tontoni, A1 Tontoni. That's what the state does. Now, this thing that Ubongani noticed caused an explosion in court. It caused an explosion, and it's an explosion that will help the defense should Judge Rata decide to be naughty, nasty, and decide he's not going to play by the book. It will help them a long way. So the question becomes, how does a witness know the exhibit number before court assigns it? Because this, normally these exhibit numbers are done there by state, then hands it up in court. So make it make sense. If it was never, if it's something that was handed up in court, it's Exhibit S, yes, but what's going on there? It's still very, very questionable, the entire situations, the entire situation. That is not a small issue also. That is a legal problem on its own, and they admitted to it. Nisi Rata, they all admitted to it because it suggests one or two things. One, the witness was exposed to the docket structure. Two, or even worse than the docket structure, the witness was aligned to the state case. The witness was aligned. It proves that actually. That's what it proves. What we saw, what we witnessed. Okay, let's break it down like a defense lawyer would. Okay, a witness statement must be independent, based on memory, free from influence. But now, you and I are witnessing something else. You have a witness who, Ubaloyi has a witness who is not just recalling events. He's not just, Uzungu was not just recalling events, he was speaking the language of the courtroom. He was referencing organized evidence. He was matching how the case is packaged. That's not memory anymore. That's alignment, meaning that Uzungu was like this, aligning. He was busy aligning them. That's what we are gathering from that situation. And here is where it gets worse or gets even dangerous for the state, because the moment a witness appears to be prepared to fit the case, their credibility is under attack, right there on the spot. Now the defense can ask way more than they were asking, because already Constable Zungu's credibility is there on the floor. We know, all of us know this. His credibility is there on the floor. Now the defense can ask, who showed you the exhibits? Or ask the state, who showed this man, Constable Zungu, the exhibit? When did he learn these numbers? In fact, Judge Rata, if he was a fair judge, he's supposed to call him back. Were you briefed before making your statements? And once that door opens, everything else becomes questionable. So they can't tell us Uzungu was just saying those things. They can't, because now it brings us to one thing. This docket, something is very offish. It's just a bombshell waiting to explode, Kesan. Now it is just something else. Okay, let's go deeper than that, because this isn't just about one witness. This touches the docket itself. You've got the state's internal section, the disclosed evidence. Now imagine this, a witness speaking as if they have seen material that the defense has not seen. That is not just irregular, that's procedural danger. And Judge Rata knows it. He said it in court. And now you understand the real game here. Because if a witness is matching exhibits using court language, aligning with state narrative, then the defense doesn't need to destroy the whole case. They only need one thing, reasonable doubt, which is already there. And this is how you plant it. Because now the court must ask, is this witness independent or influenced? Is this memory or reconstruction? And once that doubt enters the room, it doesn't leave it, Kesan. It doesn't leave it. It sits there. It sits there and be sitting there and be saying a lot of things until someone notices it. So next time you hear a witness speak confidently, listen carefully. Listen carefully, not to what they say, but how they say it. Because sometimes the biggest mistake is not what they reveal. It's what they already know. It's what they already knew about the entire case that they are part of now because of being a witness. So here, that's what we were learning. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Me, I'm giving Ubongani Danzi and his lawyer their flowers. Because how did we not notice that prior Bongani sitting there? When did they notice it? It's quite strange. But okay, I want to hear from you, your views about the whole situation. Let's talk. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.